what we are doing, we could still run this program and use another name, and with this time round we can put Anthony Birungi and run. It will still give us Anthony. Yeah. Do you realize that the B was capital here, but it has become lowercase here? Why? Because we are using the capitalize method on the string name. Now, when you're using the capitalize method, it will make sure every other letter you have in the string on which you are applying the capitalize method becomes lowercase, and only the first letter becomes uppercase. Take for instance, even if we write the name in capital letters all through, it will still put all the other characters or letters in small letters, and then it will capitalize only the first letter, as you can see right here. So all the other letters that were typed as capitals have been converted into lowercase or small letters, and only the first letter is capitalized. That is what the capitalize method does. If our interest was to convert it to small letters, we would not have used capitalize. I'll just remind you, we would have written dot lower. We had a look at the dot lower method. So when I use dot lower and I enter here the name Ian Birungi, you see, it will convert everything into lower case. Okay?
Okay.
Aha. You're with me?
Okay. Yes.
Perfect. Fantastic. Now, when we have been writing our code, we needed to know everything that we are writing. So I want you to all reproduce this code on your end, but this is the modification I want you to make. I want you to make sure this does not just print in first letter capital. I'll just take this back to capitalize. Capitalize. Oh, it's a matter of me just playing back this. Okay? I want it to write a sentence which says the name with the first letter capital is, then it will print this first letter capital bracket. In other words, I want you to use the formatted string, the F, and then so that when we print, it doesn't just give us the output. Let me run this and put here Anthony Birungi. I want it not to just put this. I want it to have a sentence that says the name with the first letter capital is, and then it outputs this, and then says the first four characters of the name are, and then it puts this. Please write that on your end. I want each of you to share your screen and show me what you've got as I prepare the environment for us to go to the next thing. Okay? Have you started writing?
Yes.
Please do.
Yes.
Write. When you're ready, let me know. Is anyone ready? Guys, are you ready? Leo,
Yes, I'm ready.
share your screen.
I'm about to share.
Yes, share your screen. Let's start with you.
Okay, I'm about to share.
Okay. Amy, are you ready?
I'm almost ready.
Okay. How about Anthony
I am ready.
and Ian?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, please try to hurry up. So, Leo, you go first. You share your screen.
I'm gonna do it in a bit.
Okay.
And have you seen it?
Not yet. Okay. Now I've seen it coming up. Okay, print. Mhm. The name with the first letter capital is that. Okay. And okay. What about the one of first four? Can you do the same thing for the first four?
Okay, let me try.
Okay. Okay. Anthony, you said you're ready. Can you share your screen? Anthony? Anthony, can you hear me? Ian, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you through?
Not yet.
Not yet. What about Anthony? Anthony, you said you're ready? Okay. Okay, let me stop mine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Uh-huh. Let's have a look at what you've got there. Okay. 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 You have. That's not the output we are looking for. That's what we had. Now we are saying modify lines 4 and 5. Modify only lines 4 and 5. Put their formatted string so that you have a sentence that reads that the name with the first letter capital is, then you output that. Okay? Capital TAL. You're going to run into problems, huh? Wait, wait. I don't change a thing. Please undo that. Just put back the curly bracket you removed. Put back the curly bracket which you
I
have removed.
haven't removed it.
No, put it back. Anthony, hold right there. Hold right there. Okay. Um, don't change a thing. Just leave it there. Leo, can you tell Anthony what he needs to change to make his thing work the way he wants it to work? Don't change a thing, Anthony. Line 1 is okay. Line 2 is okay. Line 3 is okay. Line 4 and 5 just need one tweak to make them work. Okay? Leo, can you hear me? Don't change that.
He should use the variable first letter capital in curly brackets.
It is already in curly brackets. So he has no problem with curly brackets. What else do you think he should change? Ian, do you have an idea?
I'm still thinking.
Uh-huh. You're still thinking? Amy? Amy, are you there? Amy,
Yes.
what do you think he needs to do?
He forgot the
Come
in
again?
front of the.
He forgot?
Okay.
Leo, come again.
He forgot the F inside the
Inside the
print.
Anthony, did you hear that? Thank you, Leo. Anthony, you forgot the F inside the print. And it is the F that has let you down. Eh? Now run your code and you will see that things will work fine. So Leo has come to your rescue, huh? Anthony, can you hear me? You should buy Leo a Minute Maid, eh? Do you have money? Eh? Do you have some money? You buy him a Minute Maid?
Not with me right now.
Okay. No worries, no worries. All right, so don't forget the F. If you forget that F, those variables that you put in the curly brackets will not put out the values that they are holding inside them. So they will come out as if it was just another piece of text. Okay? That's something that is key that you have to remember. Okay? I just wanted to make sure that you guys can recall the things that we've been covering over the last 2 to 3 weeks. All right? Amy, do you have your code ready? Do you want to share your screen so we can have a look at it? Amy,
Yes.
do you want to share your screen so we have a look at what you've got?
Yes, I'm about to share.
No, you first share, then we see. Don't you see that we have helped Anthony to remember he forgot an F? And the F was just making life hard for him.
Yes.
When you're writing computer programs, working with other people, and being able to collaborate with them makes life much easier. So if you get stuck, a friend of yours will look at your code and will tell you this is where the problems started from. And you'll fix it and you'll
Okay.
move on. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Great. Please share your screen.
Are you seeing it?
Not yet. We are going to write, you share your screen. We are going to do a simple activity, like I said last time. That activity is going to be um, a simple exercise to help us master the things we've covered. And please share your screen, Amy.
I'm trying. Excuse me.
Yes, please.
It says that I can't share.
Really? I see okay, there's something that is not right with the way you logged in. It's saying it's showing that you are faded. I just don't really know. Can you try to go off and try to rejoin? So
I can't hear you.
you can't hear me. Um, all right. Something is not right with the way you signed in. I will find out. But let's have Ian share his screen.
No joke. How do I share? How do I share? Go to print it. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Ian, have you got how to share your screen? Amy, can you drop off the call and then rejoin the call?
Okay. Yes, screen.
Ian, my friend, you're failing to share your screen. Can you seek help from your brother?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You failed to share the screen? Okay, fantastic. Now you've got it. All right. Okay, enter your name. First letter capital equals to that. First four equals to that. All right. Okay, fantastic. Good. Now, um, so Amy dropped off. Not, she has not yet rejoined. All right, guys. I'm going to show you one last trick, and then we try out some activity. Okay. The trick I'm going to show you is, do you see you've entered two names? You've entered two names. For example, Ian has entered Ian Birunji. Anthony entered Anthony Birunji. Amy, your thing has changed again to this. I don't know what exactly you've done to go back to this state where you can't share your screen. Okay, so we are going to split those names. We want to identify the first name and the second name. We are going to identify the first name and the second name. Do you want to do that? Guys, do you want to separate those names?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to try it out. What you're gonna do is, because this one here, with that what we have written here, we already did it last week. I was only giving you a recap. So I'm going to just roll back, and I have one line here which says enter your full name. Your full name. That means you put the first and last name, or you put your first and other name. Now, for us to split those names, what are we going to do? We're going to say we want to split these names. So there must be a way. You see, the name is a string. There must be a way we can split it. Okay? There must be a way we can split the name. Okay? So let's say when I run the program, say print, and then I put here name. So let's say if I run the program and say my name is Egesa Ronald, and then it outputs Egesa Ronald. I want to split this name at this point in the middle. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say names. Names is different from name, okay? Equals input, so equals to name. Now, the name that we had here is the one we are going to split, okay? Equals to name dot split. Now, inside the split, I'm going to put a space. So when I put a space, then I'm going to come here and say print names, okay? So I will run this code and put my name here, and then I'll say print names. Okay. I'm going to tell you what that is. That's our next, in our next activity. We are going to be doing lists. So it has created a list out of my name. So the first name is now here. The second name is here. So if I want to print the first name, so first name will be names. First name will equal to names 0. And second name or last name will equal to names 1. 0 meaning in a list, this is in index position 0, this is in index position 1. Okay? So when we want to split our names, we will have to go in this direction. Now, I'm not going to ask you to write this. I will come back to this after I have trained you what lists are. So our next activity now is to do lists. So we are going to look at lists. We are going to study Python lists. What are Python lists? Python lists, if you have a notebook, write that Python lists are a data type that helps us to work with a collection of items, okay, that may be repeated and replaced. Hey, isn't that too much? That may be repeated and replaced. Repeated and replaced. Python lists are a data type that helps us to work with a collection of items, that may be repeated and replaced. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to make it a little more understandable. This is what we're going to do. We're going to say we have class, Python class. Let's call it Python class or kids class. Kids class. In our kids class, how many people do we have? We have Amy. We have Anthony. We have Ian. And we have Leo. Okay? So our class has 4 guys. Okay, it has 4 boys and 1 girl. We have Amy, Anthony, Ian, and Leo. So what I'm saying is I'm going to store all the names of my class members into one bucket. That bucket is going to be called kids class. When I'm doing that, unlike the other time when we would just write the strings by just saying, remember we were saying name equals, and then we put the name in what? In bracket, in quotation marks. We could write Amy Kisache, just like that. This time round, we have a collection of these. We have Amy Kisache, we have Anthony Birungi, we have Ian Birungi, we have Leo Ahereza. So what we have done is we put each of those in their quotation marks because this is a string. This is also a string. This is also a string. This is also a string. We put them in their quotation marks so that we do not lose their data type of being strings. Then we separate them with commas to show that we are collecting together these items and keeping them in one bucket, which is our kids class. So our bucket that is holding the information to do with the members of the class is called kids class. Now that bucket is not a string. Despite the fact that each of the individual members is a string, this bucket is not a string. What is this bucket? This bucket is, when we want to know what it is, we first say print. On day 1, I told you we can print type, and then you put the name of the bucket, kids class. So when you print the type of kids class, it's going to tell us that kids class is of class list. The other time we had class int, integer, and we had class str for string. This time round, we have class list. So in other words, a list is where it's a kind of, data type which helps us to store data in a bucket, and that data is a collection of different items. Now, it doesn't have to be items that are strings. It could also be kids marks, okay? the marks for the kids in this class could be stored in a list. And those could be maybe one person got 90, another one got 92, another one got 87, another one got 88. So if these are the marks that we've got and we have stored them in a list, this is also a list. So when we print the data type of the kids marks, it will also give us class list. So a list could contain different types of data. The type of data in the first list here was strings. So we had strings that are made out of our names. The second type of data in the second list is integers, which are marks that people scored in a particular exam or in a particular test. It could also be that we are storing here the times that it took us to run or to wake up or to do any activity. Now, it could also be that we are storing in our list a different type of data which we have not yet seen, but we will get to know. So for now, we are comfortable that we can actually store in a list strings like we have in kids class, and we can also store in a list integers, positive numbers here. In this case, we could as well have put negative numbers. It would not complain because at the end of the day, integers could be positive or negative. Now, when you say that you want to print the lists that you have created, instead of printing the type of data that they hold, so we say print kids class, and then we can also say print kids marks. So when we decide to print that, it will print them in the way they were originally captured here where we are. Now, in this case, when we are dealing with the lists, we use what? We use square brackets to identify lists. For us to specify that whatever information I have put in a collection is a list, we use square brackets. And what else do we use? We separate the items. We separate the items with commas. We separate the items with commas. Okay? So when I put 90, 92, 87, 88, I'm using the comma to separate the different items in a list. Okay? So, and the items in a list can be repeated. What do I mean? The last person here who scored 88 could also have scored 90. There is nothing wrong with having a repetition in a list. So we are saying the items that we store in a list could be repeated, and they can as well be replaced. We will know what we mean by replaced as we go along. We can actually replace a member of our class here by another member, and that will be okay. It is allowed that the members in the items in our list can be replaced. Okay? Why are we using lists? A time comes when we need to collect our things into a collection. That example of the names that I gave you is an example where we had an item which was a string. It was long, but when we decided to split it, the computer kept our names into a list, whereby it was a collection. It was a list that was a collection of my names. Okay? So that is one particular case where we can use a collection of items. So I want you to write this code and have it as I have it right here. Guys, do that and let me know when you're done. Are we together? Okay?
Yes.
All right. Please do. I'm waiting. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Make sure you use the 5 minutes to finish writing that code, and we proceed. Junior. Ian, can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you writing
Yes.
this code?
Yes.
Okay. Amy, hello? Amy, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, because we spent a lot of time on strings, everything we were doing on strings, especially when I said we are playing with strings, can be done with lists. Just
Finished.
fantastic. Good guy. So you're done. Have you run it? Is it running perfectly well? It's
Yes.
running fine. Great. Now check out if Ian has got it right. Leo, are you there?
Almost.
Almost. Okay, great. Amy, are you there?
Almost.
Almost. Okay, great. Guys, are you through? Amy?
I'm done.
Wow, congratulations. Leo and Amy, are you also through?
Yes, we are done, sir. Took long.
Okay, great. Now I'm going to just do some things quick. Similar things we've done with strings, but now instead of letters in a string, we have items in a list. So the first item in our list here is Amy, the second item is Anthony, the third item is Ian, the fourth item is Leo. Let's create another list of fruits. So we're going to write a list of fruits. In a list of fruits, you could have things like orange, okay, orange, and then you'll have mango, and then you can have pineapple. You could have another. You can as well mix the you can as well mix the quotation marks. We can mix the quotation marks. It doesn't have to be the same double quotes. You can as well have apple. Sorry. I mistyped that. Apple. Okay, that list is also very okay. I can at this point say print fruits. I'll just go back here and say fruits. Okay, so when I say print fruits, the first list featuring my list, it has when I ask the computer to print, it will use one set of quotation marks, and usually for it uses single quotes when it is outputting the outcome of a list. Okay, so that's okay. I could now use a formatted string here to give it more meaning and say these are my fruits. Now fruits is a bucket, it's a variable, so I enclose it in quotation mark in curly brackets and then run this, and it will tell me that these are my fruits: orange, mango, pineapple, and apple. Okay, perfect, good, looks good. Then the next thing, it will just go ahead and print for me the class members, and then print for me the marks of the class members. All right, so I am going to print a few things here. For example, list of class members. We're gonna print the first item or the first member in that class, and the mark of the first member. The first member is in index position 0. So lists have index positions for the members or for the items, just like the strings had index positions for the characters. So index position 0 in this list of kids class is Amy. Index position 1 is Anthony. Index position 2 is Ian. And index position 3 is Leo. And the same thing happens with the list of marks. In index position 0 is 90, index position 1 is 92, index position 2 is 87, index position 3 is 90. So when I run this, it will give me the output of index position 0, which will be Amy, and 90. Now, if these two are connected, that a member of the kids class has a corresponding mark here, it means that if I have the first member being Amy, then the corresponding mark of 90 will be to Amy. So when I do when I refer to the index positions, like I have done in line 12 and line 14, I just put 0, and it will give me the name for the first member, Amy, and the mark that corresponds to the first member. I could as well have done the first, as in the one in index position 1, who is actually the second member in that class. And then it says Anthony, and then puts 92. And then I could have as well said the one in index position 2, who is actually the third member in that class, and it says Ian, and it says mark 87. I could have as well said, give me the member in index position 3 and the mark that corresponds to the member in index position 3. And then I will run this and it will tell me it is Leo and the mark was 90. Okay? So the way we were using index positions in strings is the same way we use index positions in lists. Are we together, guys?
Yes.
You have understood
Yes.
that?
Yes.
So today we have introduced the concept of lists. We have introduced the concept of what? Of lists.
List.
Now, as a final thing, I'm going to please adjust your code to capture the things that I have put here. I created another list called fruits. I have also modified line 9, which prints the fruits. I have put that. And then I have also here, I said I can print any of the members of the class and their corresponding mark. Yeah. Instead of printing the whole list, I've chosen to print only one particular item. Now you can print what corresponds to you. If you are in index position 0, write this as print kids class 0 and then print kids max 0. If you are in index position 1, according to this list of our class members, then print kids class 1 or kids max 1. If you are in index position 2, do the same thing. Print kids class 2 and kids max 2. And then you will be good to go. After that, I'm going to give you an activity that we shall start with tomorrow. But before that, I need to download my code. I will just say download, and then it will download the trinket. It has downloaded it. So I will use that code tomorrow, upload it, and we continue with it. So there is an activity that I'm going to leave you with. You can attempt to do it, but I will still go through it tomorrow. So first of all, I want you to modify your code so that you have everything that I have got here. That is an introduction to lists, okay?